Welcome to the latest video, and a special video at that. The tank is 5 years old, and how times flies when you're having fun. And I've got to say, I have thoroughly enjoyed watching this grow out. I must admit, I try and keep my hands out of the tank and do as little as possible, and it runs the same way as it did from day one, which is on no-pox, so the Red Sea no-pox. So let's go a bit closer and have a look at the fish I've got at the moment. So there's a Richmond wrasse, absolutely stunning, and probably the biggest fish in the tank, bigger than the yellow tang. And that is the only tang I have in the tank. I learned my lesson from having the regal and also the vampire, which you would have seen in earlier videos, where they just outgrew the tank. My favourite fish are probably the peacock wrasse. I've got 4 in the tank. There's 2 there. They quite often swim around together, and it's just a great sight to see, and they're just beautiful wrasse and a beautiful fish. Now, I have damsels. Now, a lot of people say don't get damsels, they're wreckers, they're really aggressive. Now, they can be. They were the last fish I added into the tank. I added 9 and I have 7. Now what happened was they did pick off the 2 smallest ones, but that must have been a good 18 months ago. And what you find, they're very territorial and they're dotted around the tank, but they're absolutely beautiful, and they stay roughly where you see them at the moment. Now the one at the back there, if I go to cut this green digi, he does attack me. So it just shows how territorial they are. But because I've got a lot of rock in the tank, I think that helps. Other favourite fish, I've got amphias. So these are wreckfish amphias. I had 5, but again they pick one another off. And I've got 2, been in the tank for quite a while. Fed them for about 2 or 3 times a day, and now they just get fed once a day, and that's fine. Got 3 Bengal cardinals. Now these were babies, and you might have seen from the videos 2 or 3 years ago where they hatched in the tank and had them ever since. So beautiful fish. There's the oldest fish in the tank. That one is 6 years old, and that came from my previous tank, and that's the only survivor from that original tank, although I didn't have much fish in there, to be fair. Now if we move on to corals, there's a real mix of corals in the tank, and my favourite is Chalice by far, and I've got quite a few. So there's a Raja Rampage. Now I've got a couple of rainbow Chalice. There's one in the middle just there, and there's another one there. It's an absolute beauty. I've only had that about 4 months, a rainbow, and it's just beginning to colour up and grow out, and hopefully you can see that. But Chalice is my favourite. Got a Christmas tree one there, and it's pretty big. As you can see, it's just spread across the base of the tank. Maybe having a little bit of warfare there with a Monty. Got a watermelon Chalice there, which I think is totally underrated, but an absolute beaut. And then the one there, I'm not too sure what that one is. It's blue with pink eyes. And then I've got 2 beasts. That one's an Avatar challenge, and that is massive, and you can just see it growing up the rock. And I must have had that 4 or 5 years and fragged it I don't know how many times. But most of the chalices I've got on this sand bed, except for this one. This started off as a really small frag, probably the size of a 50p piece, and it's just grown high up, which is unusual. And then there's one I forgot down here, which is a yellow chalice. I don't know if the camera can pick it out, but it's a 24K, so it's yellow, and it's got a hint of blue to it, but it's only just growing. It's quite a small frag, had that about 4 months. It's just beginning to colour up, and I find that with chalices, it takes a time for them to settle, get used to the water parameters, and then they colour up and look superb. So looking forward to growing that one up. Just some of the others that I've got. This is a Christmas tree favia, and that started off as one polyp. I had that in my original tank, so that's 5 years old, and it's gradually grown. Quite a slow grower, but absolutely stunner. And the colonies are just really big in the tank now. That's candy cane, been fragged a number of times, and you can see what's happened there. Some red mushrooms are grown in there, and that's not deliberately. I need to frag that back. And then the lights just begin to go a bit too blue, but that's a blue tip aquapora. And in the background you can just see Setosa and also purple plating. And again, that was really small. All of these corals have started off as frags. Bubble coral there, and you can just see at the top there where that's growing out. It's just beginning to shade that one there, that piece in the middle. So there's not many heads on that, so I probably need to frag the top bit, but that's been fragged 4 or 5 times over the years. And there's at the bottom there, so I just need to take some cutters to that. I've got a few SPS, they're mostly high up in the tank. Not really high-end ones, but beautiful nevertheless. Green Formosa, pink Hystrix, green Digi, which you've already seen. But overall, I'm just really happy with the tank. Happy how it's progressed. I'm looking forward to seeing how it evolves over